fame in it. You know, what's some things that you would advise to the youth that's coming up in it?
Well, I always give advice to the youth without imposing too much of my will. I want to see them making the right mistakes, especially when they got a chance to make so much money and becoming so successful inside of this rap industry and things like that. But times are different. Not saying any different from how we were coming up, but the way things are moving are different. You got social media, you got internet, you got cameras everywhere. When we were younger, we didn't have those, so we had a little bit more threshold for the chances that we took and things like that. Now these times are different, and these kids are getting caught up in opt this and opt that, and nobody get a break. And it seems like more people, these kids are more worried about killing and violence than they are worried about getting money. And I do know one thing for a fact: the first thing that was on our mind when we was coming up was the money. And 9 times out of 10. The violence only came due over money. Not saying violence is ever a thing that's condoned, but I'm just saying that's where the basis of that coming up, more so than it is now. They have no reasons on why they could killing each other and doing all these violent acts right now. Like, it don't be about shit. Nigga might go up on there and be like, I ain't like how that nigga was rapping. You can't even have an opinion. Oh, now you a op, nigga. It's up when you see you smoke and it ain't coming down, nigga. Watch how you dig, and it just watching this shit is like crazy, like, but not so crazy because we had to move the right way too, because we was up against a lot at the same time, but it's just different. And we carried ourselves a little bit different. Not saying we wasn't reckless, but we did carry ourselves a little bit different and shit like that back in the day. We had a little bit more of a moral compass than these kids have today. And a lot of that is because of the things that they subjected to when you're playing all these video games that got guns and showing you how to gun maneuver and all the type of shit. There's no heart in the video game. Like, these kids say I'm just killing shit all day. Like, it's a lot to it and shit like that. Not blaming that. I'm just saying there's so many factors into what's going on in today's society and shit like that. It's like, where do we start? And then, like you said, there ain't enough OGs to band together to try to give the right advice, at least to lead by example, to show these kids how to move a little bit different. Most of these niggas that got money are in a position to be an OG inside of this game. They got money. They definitely don't want to be bothered with the niggas that I be bothered with. And I do it because I got a heart, because I know a lot of these niggas are going to go up against some shit that they're never going to come back from. And it don't matter what amount of money you got, you can get caught up. Young Thug is a multi-millionaire. He's richer than most of your favorite rappers. Really, like, and the money can't save you in certain situations. You dig? So it's like, this is why I always try to preach to them to gotta move a little bit right. I understand what you're up against, but you just gotta move smarter. That's it. You heard? Yeah. Until you moving smarter and you gaining successes levels to this shit, and you're gonna come to a level where you can't pay for security to start coming outside, then you ain't gotta move the way you, as risky as you was moving before and shit like that, because I know what y'all up against. But follow the rules, young man. Don't get caught up with being stupid or putting your pride in front of you, because most niggas die over pride. I seen it happen all the time. Shit could have happened to me a few times because I'm very prideful myself, and I had to learn how to put that shit in my pocket in certain situations. I'm not the chump. But we all could get caught.
Yeah.
We all could get caught slipping. I've seen it happen to the best and to the toughest and the roughest. Also to the softest and to the punkest. You heard? So.
For sure.
This is what I preach to the youth that's coming up. You heard?
Yeah.
I wish I could just snap my fingers and say it'll be better tomorrow. Niggas won't be killing each other, but they won't. And even me being in a position that I'm in a position of being a target. So the way I have to move is very tactical. You heard? I'm moving scary out here. I'm scared to death. You heard? You know what I mean.
For sure. As I was sitting here listening to your response, bro, I was just thinking about all my diplomatic childhood memories, you know. I was in like 7th or 8th grade myself, you know what I'm saying, when y'all were really taking over the world, right? We talking about 04, 05, 06, you know? I'm 31 years old, you know? And as much as I like to talk about success, you know, we got to shine a light on the bullshit, because without negative, there probably won't be no positive, you know what I'm trying to tell you? So, when I look at you, I think about not only Dipset, Cameron, Jewel, I think about Max B. Nah. No Max B. What's up? Say that. I love that type of response. You know what I'm saying? Say less. No, hell no. I feel. Well,
I don't talk about dead people, and I talk about people locked up.
Sure.
You heard?
Yeah. For sure.
I say some shit, I want to be able to say it to your face if I have to.
Yeah.
You dig?
Yeah.
So that was one thing I always made it a point to do. So just keep that in mind for next time you speak to a real nigga.
No doubt.
Talk about dead people or somebody's locked up.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm glad you pointed that out to me, bro, because like I said, we from Iraq, and you know, we do a lot of the interviews, and in our market, a lot of the fans, they want to know about the people that's either dead or locked up. You know what I'm saying? And so we do interview a lot of guys that, you know, speak on them in the fans.
I know how I go in Chicago. I know how they speak on their ops. I know the whole thing and shit like that. But where I'm from, I come from a different time. I come from real hustlers and shit like that. Niggas that really got money and really was in the street. There's certain code and certain things that I'm just not accustomed to doing.
Mm-hmm.
And me talking about a dead person holds no merit to me. You heard?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If that's your op, you already won. You're not here no more, no matter what were the circumstances. So what? You get out of talking about that, man. You definitely ain't getting a blessing.
For sure.
You heard?
For sure.
It's about energies and blessings and shit like that. Where I'm at in life, you heard? I did so much in life that I'm just praying that I can live as long as possible and be blessed while I'm living long as possible. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like I'm not young as I used to be. I've done a lot of things that a lot of these kids are going through. And as a youngster, you have to go through shit to live. So it's hard to tell a person to stop what they're doing because that's telling them to stop experiencing life. But I'm just telling them to move accordingly. Be a little bit smarter while you're living life so you can live a long